So the food stamps had just hit, and as the food stamps hit, like we're like, all right, cool. I'm going to the grocery store. I got my son with me, and we go to Kroger. We go to Kroger for about, I'm not gonna lie, we probably might have been in there for, probably was in there for about 3 hours. I'm not gonna lie. Like I was just in there getting everything that I needed. And next thing you know, like, and I'm taking my time, and I'm like, okay, cool. I'm like, I'm pacing myself. I'm like, we need to get everything. Now, the next thing that I'm gonna do is I'm about to drop this buggy off in the grocery. I'm gonna drop this buggy off with groceries in the car, and then I'm gonna go back in and get some more, cause we had some moolah. But I came back outside, and I'm like, I know I parked right here. Where's my car? And that's what happened. It got repoed. And I think we're prepared. I think in life, you're supposed to be prepared for when things happen, and storms. Everybody can have a different storm. Somebody might say, oh, well, I pay my bills, but your storm might be health, So when storms happen, don't trip, don't stress, don't be worried. I'm not gonna lie, like my car was on the repo list, and I was in the process of learning how credit worked, and I'm not ashamed of it. I had the car for 4 years. Um, I made a little bit of money with it, but you reach a certain point where after that cutoff, they're like, "Hey, we don't want no money. We want the car back." But my point behind me telling this story is this: you should know about credit. Now, I tell you this story simply because I need you to understand credit. I'm going to sell you on the idea that credit is important. And as you understand that credit is important, don't do what I did. But if you did what I did, and let's say your stuff ended up on the repo or you got bad credit, that's fine. But when it comes to credit, the thing that you need to understand is this: your life depends on it. Your entire life matters for it. I'll give you an example. If you want to get an apartment, your credit matters. If you want to get a house, your credit matters. If you want to get a car, your matters. Oh, I'm gonna just get me a cash car. Believe it or not, you can have good credit and live years off of good credit without income based off of just your credit. And I don't want to sell you on, ways of like cheating the system, but I need you to understand and be educated with how the system works. Credit is here, and credit is something that, oh my goodness, it matters. One thing that's really fascinating for you guys, though, in case you guys don't know, is Congress is on your side. Like, some people in other countries, what I've found out is like, you go to jail over credit. Like, if you don't pay your bills in Dubai, like, I think they said if you miss a car note, something like that, they're putting you in jail. They're just like, oh, you're 31 days. Get your ass in here. And here in America, they don't do that. And I say that because, like, maybe some people think like you'll get beat or anything like that, but you don't get beat. But what I want you to do is I want you to learn credit. I want you to experiment with your credit, and I want you to do it the right way. Don't be like trying to commit fraud. That's not it. I see so many people on here like, "Oh man, I can get you CPNs." No, there's things that you can do in credit to go to jail. But if you learn credit, if you understand credit, if you make credit your baby, your bitch, all kinds of things, all kinds of doors will open for you. I'm going to give you an example of one strategy of what you can do with credit. You can build your credit up to, let's say, a 800 as an example, or 700. You can get stuff with the 600, but 740 is what you call prime lending. That is where you want to be, 740 and above. Wait, 740 and above. Many people have this idea of, oh, I got good credit. Once you get good credit, the next step is what? Go get you some money. Well, what do I spend the money on? Okay, I'm gonna go spend some money. I'm gonna go to the luxury stores. I'm gonna get me a bag. I'm gonna get me some rims. Why would you do that? That would be stupid. Go get some credit and get some money. Go get you some money. and go and start your business. I don't want a business. Go invest in a business or go buy a business. With this money, what do? You get it to start making more money for you. That's the goal. That's the idea behind it. Some people be like, oh, I don't know what to do. That's it. Let it make money for you. It's a very beautiful thing when you really think about it. What is it? Pause. I hear a lot of people say, "Oh, I can't get that. That's they don't allow black people to get that." But you can't get land. What? No, bullshit. Bull the fuck shit. They will give you whatever you want. And here's the deal: for your like for little shit like for a house, you can use your credit, or you can use business credit. I recommend business credit because when you have business credit, like personal shit, like you have limits on what your income can get. But with business credit, like your business generates the income, so you have money printers. And you should have many businesses. And your good credit should build up those business credits. Why the fuck not? And you're probably thinking, why? What will that do? Um, that will open more opportunities. See, like, some people think that the way to get ahead is, or at least how I was taught, growing up in school, I was taught, like, see, I was told you go to school, get good grades, then you go to college, then you get a good job. And then once you get a good job, then you be having white picket fences and just living happily ever after. And they lied. When I had my first job, I did door-to-door sales selling cable, and there were people with degrees. They just graduated. And I'm like, damn, I really applied for the customer service position, but I guess God sent me in a different direction. And the door-to-door sales position, it didn't require a degree. But it was fascinating that people who just got their degree were in the same position that I was in. And I'm not knocking it. I don't knock having a degree. Having a degree is just learning different things. But I'm saying if we can be selective in learning things that will make us money, I think that would really take us to another level. If we prioritize valuable things, that would be very beneficial. Credit is one of those things you need to learn. You just have to learn it. There's so many things to it. Oh my goodness. You have business A. Business A, the market crashes, real estate happens, and all that stuff. Business A is separate from business B, but you have good credit and you have three businesses. Business A can't get any more money, but if business A can't get any more money because, the market crashes, it doesn't work out or whatever, then business B. And you walk into business B. Now, me, I've learned about credit, personal credit, and the thing about it is, like how I got my cars, is I learned how to stop sharing my information. You're like, what? You can do that? I'm like, yeah. My car was repoed, and what, 3 months later, I got brand new cars. 3, 4 months later. Now, granted, the tide had changed. Like I said, I had the cars for 4 years, but regardless of whatever the story, I be helping people with their credit, and they want to tell me their story. The story don't matter. Only the law matters, and only learning how these games work matter. I think that like people get mad at rich people. They want to talk shit about Donald Trump. I don't give a fuck. I'm out. I understand that Donald Trump knows how the money game is played. And because he knows how the money game is played, you need to learn how to play it. In this world, in America, if this is how they play the rules, fuck it, this is how we play the rules. Don't be sitting around just saying, oh man, I'm scared or I don't know what to do. I think if you break down being a believer of God, because everybody want to have all these damn titles, believer of God, you could be like Jesus, whoever, it don't matter, but I'm saying he's got your back. That's how it works. So my point is that I guess what sets us aside, the true believers, is we can take risk with our businesses because God will bless us that much further. But the fucked up part is we're a lot of us are fucked up in the mind, and it's like, damn, God can't bless us because we're not willing to learn and take risk. You feel me? God will bless. I'm gonna give you an example. You get taxes. Your taxes might be 15,000 because you got a whole bunch of kids, a whole bunch of kids. And however you view kids is however. But you know, if your taxes is 15,000, what do you do with that? How do you break your money down? Let's say you're making $30 an hour. You've been on your job. You've sacrificed your ass, your family, all that stuff, and you have an income. I ain't mad at you. How do you break down your money? I'm gonna show you how I break down my money. I do it like this. Um, let's say I get $1,000. 10%, I'm gonna send it off to be actively managed by me. What does that mean? That means that, let's say if I got a little business I want to do, or like, no matter what it is, I got a farm. So 10% of my money, I put it towards the farm. I go buy animals. You know, I go buy fencing. Things that just set it aside for that. A lot of y'all got side hustles. Like you sell candles, you sell whatever. Use that to fund that. Now you got a whole business. And now the next 10% goes to passive. I will say, get you some life insurance, and get you some life insurance with some living benefits. It don't matter who. I don't sell life insurance, but they have life insurance with living benefits. That would be the first thing you would get. People say term, whole life, whatever. It don't matter. Get something. Get something's better than nothing. And you can tell by how you're risky if you have a risky life. Granted, shit can happen. So, I'm 30. I need a whole life. Something to cover me for my whole life. But it's subjective. I just get both. But regardless, I'm not here to sell you on insurance. Get you something. Next thing you want to do. Next thing you want to do is get you something. Get you another cap. The next thing you do after you've got your life insurance covered, because you don't have to use all your money for life insurance. Get you some stocks, get you some crypto, get you, and you'd be like, well, what do I buy? What kind of car you drive? What kind of car you want? Buy stocks in that. What, I don't know, what kind of food are you eating? What grocery stores? Like the shit that you're using, just invest in it. Have a share. And that's not financial advice, this is just basic shit. But some people, we weren't taught basic shit. You see, we were in school for 8 hours a day for 12 years in a row, and guess what? We were taught shit that don't teach us how to feed ourselves. I got this whole motherfucking farm. This is like all my shit, all my land, and they ain't teach me shit. I'm an educated mamma jamma. But they ain't teach me really too much about feeding myself. I'm just now figuring out how goats work and all this stuff. I made me a little compost pile right here. So I'm going to be figuring it out. But I mean, I got ChatGPT. Don't feel sorry for me. I'm a research. But my point is that a lot of the stuff we weren't taught. If we weren't taught it, that's not really good. That doesn't really help us out. But but it's okay. We'll get it figured out. Thing about it is education. We need to know credit. We need to know budgeting. Oh, the last 10%. The last 10% goes to charity. And you can call it whatever you want. You can give it to God. You can give it to your family. You know how people always need something. There's always people with those needs. You should have 10% to give. Especially if you're somebody that's always asking. You should have 10% to give. You should be a giver if you're an asker. That's the best way to get more. I have an example. Let's say as an example, like I might have $20 in my pocket. If I go give it away, I'm going to be like, I'm going to have more. I need right about now, I think I probably need about 50 grand, something like that. You're like, it's a big number. So the $20 really ain't going to do that much. Don't get me wrong, I'm not going to sacrifice my family and stuff like that. But 10% of, every dollar that you make, let's say you got 900. If you give 10% away, you don't think God's going to bless you? Especially if you're one of those people that be reading the Bible all the time. If you don't, try it out. But these are just principles to just having a great life and getting your stuff where you want it to be. But for you guys, I'm going to give you guys some sauce. I'm going to give you guys at least one video a week. So you can come here and you'll see it at the same time. I'm going to drop it on Sunday morning Central Time. But, yeah, you got this. Tune in, but learn credit. Don't just look at me. Look at everybody. I got some content on credit, don't get me wrong, and I teach it, and I get you right. I got a group. But it don't have to be me. I don't care who it is, because I don't get along with everybody. I get along with a lot of people, but some people just suck. So for the sucky people, y'all go to the other people. But, like, you could literally just YouTube credit. And then AI, oh my goodness. What happens if you post, I have a book that has all the credit laws. Imagine if you post my book, if you upload it to your AI and you upload my script and you upload your credit report, oh my goodness. There's ways you can get paid for bad credit, in case you ain't know. Then you be having your farm with your chickens and stuff, and you be getting your eggs. Well, that's what I got for you today. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful, beginning of your week. And remember, you got this. Don't let nobody scare you. Don't let nobody worry you. One step at a time, you're going to learn how it go.